Act 2. Break into 2, 20%. Your protagonist answers the call. They make the choice to begin their adventure, transformation, journey, new thing. Show your protagonist deciding to plunge into Act 2. The promise of the premise, fun and games, 21 to 50%. This is when the reader thinks, now we're getting to the good stuff they hinted at on the back cover of this book. It's also one of the longest sections in your book. Show your protagonist getting used to their new world, loving it, hating it, making mistakes or doing well, meeting new people, and keeping the reader entertained. B story happens during the promise of the premise. Introduce a new character or characters who will eventually help the protagonist learn their life lesson. Friends, mentors, love interests, nemesis. Who are they? How will they help? Midpoint, 50%. This moment is when everything seems great, or everything seems awful, depending on your story. Either the fun and games section has led to a false victory for your protagonist, they think they've been doing great so far, or a false defeat, they've been having a hard time so far. What happens in this moment, halfway between beginning and end? Bad guys close in, 51 to 75%, get ready for a bumpy ride. If your midpoint was a false victory, now things start to go wrong for your protagonist. If the midpoint was a false defeat, well, things seem to be looking up, but the bad guys are getting closer, and will have something to say. Note, bad guys can be actual physical enemies, but they can also be emotional enemies, like doubt or jealousy or fear. Show the protagonist's newly built world beginning to unravel. This will also be one of the longer sections in your novel. All is lost, 75%. Oh dear. This is when something happens to make your character hit rock bottom. It's the absolute lowest part of your novel. Maybe someone or something dies, either literally or figuratively. What does this moment look like for your protagonist? Dark night of the soul, 76 to 80%. Your protagonist now has time to react to their all is lost moment, to mourn what they lost and wallow in hopelessness. Yeah, it's not pretty. They are worse off than they were at the beginning of the novel. Show how low things have gotten.